How's it going? I figured I'd do a little talk about some alpha male stuff, and I don't feel like doing the talking points you see a lot of other people do. Mostly because when it comes to me having to do a lot of the so-called alpha male stuff, it ain't like I'm alpha male. No, most of the time it's shit, that kind of stuff. Because most people don't. There's a weird concept. And there's a social alpha male, I guess you think more popular or whatever, but there's the real more alpha male kind of thing is you're the leader or the head of the little pack. And the reason is most of the time you don't get to even decide if you are or aren't freaking because well most of the time I'd rather not. I'd rather just sit on my ass. I ain't gonna lie. Most of the time it's I had to take off running to help somebody because it's just what you got to do sometimes. And the thing is everybody at some point is gonna have to be put into that role because once you get older, the young ones, you gotta watch out for them. Freaking, you gotta help somebody else out. Even though I'm an alpha male, my dad's my alpha. Freaking, my dad ain't as big as me, but I do as he says. His orders because he got me this far. Freaking, and even if I'm someone else's alpha, freaking, and they don't view him as the alpha, he's still my alpha because I know he's looking after his pack. I'm looking after my pack, kind of thing. And there. Like I remember one time, and I also don't like the whole alphas are aggressive because it's an odd story. I told a friend I was out helping someone lift up a power line a pole. He was putting a power pole for his new home he was getting. I saw it. I looked at it. I don't think we're going to be able to do this. Freaking, because it was three guys, me and two other guys, and one guy was holding the pole. Freaking didn't work. Came back down because I knew it because it had nothing to do with the weight because three of us could pick it up and move it, but it's leverage. All right, freaking. So the other guy that was trying to push it to the ground, we moved it to where all four of us still ain't gonna work. We got I think two other guys showed up. In my head, I told him again, yeah, I don't see this working, and the reason I had to get aggressive was because I was pretty much the strongest one in the group. So as we was going up, I felt it starting to come back down, and I was, didn't feel it going anymore that way upwards. It was starting to come back down. So like I told everybody, I feel it coming down. Everybody needs to move. So I have it across my forearms, freaking holding it here, and I'm about to drop it. And that's a lack of alpha right there on his part. I'm sorry, but if you're not paying attention to the group and what the group's doing and the safety of the group, you can't really say you're an alpha. His dumb butt hadn't moved, and he hadn't long been hurt on the job doing something else. And I got aggressive with him, and it really was my thought in my head. And I felt bad. I didn't mean to be, on the aggressive side, but the thought in my head was, if I make it out of this without, because the pole was coming down, I couldn't hold him much longer. If I get jacked up or whatever, I'm gonna kick your ass afterwards. Move. So I told him to move, but in a more aggressive, like I'm gonna kick your ass after this if you don't move now tone. Freaking move, bam, thing drops, scrapes the crap out of my forearms. It's just what it is. And now we had to sit and brainstorm how to get it up there. Actually, it wasn't me to figure it out because it was someone else with the truck because I actually was named off a list because we had the manpower. Even though it didn't seem like, because the story I told you, we had the manpower, but it was the leverage. If we just would have had rope, we could have got to a certain point, and the rest of the guys could have pulled it on up, and that'd have been fine. But the leverage of how long a power pole is, and the closer you get that down the line, the greater it is on you. But I told him to stop because I saw us hold on. They were about to go to back the truck up, but the truck was about to hit the windshield. I'm like, no, you got the right idea if you're willing to risk your truck, because sometimes, so we jacked that up, got the pole in there. Then a little later, some guy showed up with a tractor. They asked the guy asked if they needed help. He's got a tractor. Freaking, they both looked at me. I'm like, whatever gets the job done the fastest and the easiest. Yeah, sure. I mean, I didn't even say sure. Freaking, I just said whatever gets the job done the fastest and the easiest. I wish we would have had a tractor earlier. That would have made it a whole lot quicker. But yeah, sometimes you got to be aggressive with some people, and I don't even like that part. But if you want to be alpha, like you're looking at even primate situations, freaking, if you want to step into the group, all right, you're part of the group, you want to take the alpha role, you can't even go right after the alpha role, because if you start to whoop up on the alpha there, he'll have two other buddies right there and whoop up on you, and all three will be whooping up on you. You gotta make friends with both them buddies, and then you can actually make a change for the alpha, because the alpha is the one that's gonna be looking out for the pack. Because most time you see people talk about alpha, they mostly talk about like dating and or you gotta be aggressive or kind of push people. But like, no, freaking the guy's looking out for the other people. Like, I remember back in woodshop when I was younger, the alpha there was the teacher. Now, you better listen to him, because if a three-fingered man freaking tells you don't, what was it? Three-fingered man tells you don't do that, you'll lose a finger. You should thank him for the heads up, okay? I've made it this far with the whole 10. I like to keep that record going. Same thing whenever I've worked construction. I've been a greenhorn I don't know how many times. I appreciate the heads up, because I like having all my body parts. And they're like chainsaw. People who operate chainsaws. You see them missing limbs or something like that, and they tell you don't listen, because they're looking out for you. That's why usually the alphas are more it ain't, because especially with humans, it ain't just who's the biggest or the strongest. Freaking who's looking out for who more, and who's got the most knowledge, kind of thing. Because what was it? There's a NCIS, I think it's NCIS Los Angeles 80. There's the boss is this small little woman. That's the alpha there. You listen to her. Why? Because if you want to stay alive, you listen to her. Because she knows what's going on, knows the most about it. Freaking. And it's just because a bunch of times, like, if I'm around older people, even though I may be the strongest, and I'll point my point of view out. But if I don't know what's going on or something like that, most of the time I'm just I'm the tool. I'm nothing, what was it? I'm trying to make it quick because I know we're out of time. Thunderdome, Master Blaster, freaking. The Master freaking was a small little guy. The Blaster freaking was this huge, The Master was the alpha, freaking. The other one was just a body, freaking that did as he was told. For good reason. I mean, the little small guy was looking out for the big guy. And the little guy needed the big guy, because so the other people wouldn't mess with him. But that's how the dynamics, when it comes to humans, it's a lot more complicated than a lot of people think it is. And it varies from different situation to different situation. Alpha it up. Y'all take it easy.